Welcome to the talk show, Lighting the Educational Flame, with your host, Mark Hoberman. The goal of this show is to provide a learning experience to people of all ages, with guests from various fields and academics, a wide range of industries, and insight into the many forms of art, athletics, and entertainment. We hope you enjoy the show. Actor Simon Twu is our special guest today. Simon talks about his experience in commercials, movies, and more. Simon will also talk about giving back to others through his company, Simon Technique Studio.
Hello and welcome to the talk show, Lighting the Educational Flame, brought to you by Great Success Education. I'm your host, Mark Hoberman. Today's guest is actor, singer, and voice coach, Simon Twu. Simon, welcome to Lighting the Educational Flame.
Hi guys, nice to meet you, and thanks for having me, Mark.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my pleasure. Simon, before we talk about your professional career, can you tell us a little bit about your background and upbringing as a child?
Oh my gosh, my upbringing, that's a long story. 29 different schools growing up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was a teacher and I only taught in 4.
Well, I guess I have more experience. No, I'm just kidding. So no, it was a crazy life. Like my family's always like donating stuff all over the world and try to like help people. So I just kind of kept traveling, grew up with a lot of different family members. But it was really cool because throughout this process, I got a chance to learn from different cultures, and it's just so fascinating that because I was forced to be in those positions where I have to compare to different cultures, and they had like a lot of similarities. For example, hot pot, right? Or like gumbo, or like the Russian like potato soups, or like a lot of cultures kind of merge together in certain ways because there's some wisdom behind these, legendary things that they pass on, right? Or the wisdom that they pass on. But at the same time, there's also a lot of things you have to be localized in order to pass down the information for education, which we talked about.
Absolutely. So, and we talk more about, we know about your upbringing now, and I want to talk now about your career, which you've done it all. So, there are a lot of people out there in the entertainment world who do commercials and voiceovers, and there's so many things to do in the business as they get up there into bigger parts. What's your experience in that part of the industry with voiceovers and commercials?
So I love voiceovers and commercials. So I had a small title called like the Asian Commercial Prince back in like 2011 to 13 or something. Because I don't know, I was really, really fortunate to have done a lot. I don't think I can name the brands here, but I think I've done like over 80 commercials, and internationally and national, and or like the Asian market, blah blah blah, all of them together. And it was so much fun because I feel like once you get on a roll, like do more of them, it becomes much easier because it's almost like a practice of working with different directors or different teams. And every director directs you differently and have different like keys. For example, some directors will be very, very nice and be like, okay, if you're holding like a beer or holding whatever, like you have to be like that, the same position, 3, 2, 1, action, 3, 2, 1, action. So we have like the muscle memory already, because we've done it so many times, so we know, okay, so they want almost identical, inserts of your hand, and sometimes you can ask for like one of those grains or something, so you can leave your hand there, and just, at least for me, like we have little strategies, so I know my muscle memory here, so with a 3, 2, 1, action, so it's the same movements, so they get the best shot in the shortest amount of time, and they'll like to use you next time, so that's pretty cool.
How long does a 30-second or 1-minute commercial take to shoot? People think that you go in, you walk in, it's a 1-minute commercial, you take 3 minutes in case there's a couple of takes, you go home and that's it. It's much more involved than that, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I from my experience, it usually takes a lot of planning, sometimes even rehearsals in a foreign language. And then, it's from my experience, it took a fitting, of course, blah, blah, blah. So it takes about 1 day of fitting usually, and then about 1 to 7 days of shooting, depending how big it is.
Fitting is the clothing, you mean?
Yeah. So we try on the clothes and see like if it fits, if it looks good or not.
Oh, so they don't say come in jeans and a nice black shirt. They whenever you go to a commercial, it's always clothes that they tell you this is what you're wearing.
it's the industry. I think everyone's trying to save money, so like they always
Bring
try
your own
to.
clothes.
Yeah, but you never end up wearing your own clothes. At least I haven't in a while. Like it's always like it's always their clothes for some reason.
Right. Well, without telling us maybe the brand name, can you tell us the different, 80 commercials is a ton, the different types of products, those commercials that you've been in?
Yeah. Like banking, cell phones, telecommunication, fast food, beers, yogurts, yeah. Oh gosh, I can't. I actually have the names faster. I can probably
No,
see.
no, the brand is in it. Well, that's what branding and marketing is all about. They want to know the brand more than they want to know the product. I get it. But without mentioning the brand, I know you were in a commercial with John Legend and his wife Chrissy Teigen. So what was that like? You don't have to mention the brand.
Yeah. No, they're awesome. It was really cool to see them on set and work with them on set. It was like it's just great people, and I love music. So come on, John Legend with the music produced for La La Land, I believe so, and also he's just like his name, a legend. Like and it was awesome. It was really cool to work with them. And everyone on set was so nice.
Yeah,
So nice.
I'm sure it was a great experience. When we talk now about either bigger parts or TV and movies, do you think there are enough meaningful roles in television and or movies for the Asian community?
I wish there's more. I really wish there's more.
Yeah, this guy's got to work. Simon's got to work. Call him.
Thanks. So no, I really wish there's more, and I think it's going towards that direction a little more, like the representation and also the authenticity. And at least in my experience and talking to some executives and stuff at different studios and producers, it's like I feel like it's half. Like some people are like, we're just gonna keep doing the safe way. But there's some people who are like also trying to find that authenticity. For example, I'm not like those pro like, oh my gosh, if you're like, if you're looking for a Vietnamese, well, you have to look for a Vietnamese, like separating all the Asians so much that you can't even play. Because that's almost like saying like the Caucasian or white Americans can only play their specific like I'm part Dutch and I'm part like, come on, like that's like so. But at the same time, it's like at least authenticity. For example, the Northern Chinese at least be Chinese, not Japanese. So like like the characters, maybe it's fine once in a while, but like it's at least you have to speak it correctly. Not like a completely different language. Which used to happen a lot, by the way. And so for example, Northern Chinese is like 吃了吗，哥们儿？哎呀，行啊，whatever. And Southern Chinese is like 早上好，大家好啊，是的，行，可以，好的. So it's completely different, right? But no one ever gets that. And so like sometimes when it's not that authentic, there's a discrepancy. It's almost like if we're making a movie in Asia about the United States and it doesn't fall in this right categories. Right. It's like you get really confused and really bored right away.
But English speaking people would never see the discrepancy. You would sit and you would know the discrepancy right away.
Oh yeah,
saw heard that.
Oh yeah, big time. So and I'm just saying like while we're on air, like I'm just hopefully get a chance to share that experience because I lived there for so half basically. I grew up in America, Santa Monica, but I also lived in Asia and worked in Asia for quite some time. Especially with co-productions or like different international directors and producers. So it was really interesting to see both sides of the picture. And I'm just like, I'm an advocate and I just hope that one day we can do more projects like that, that can actually, and it's doable. Like imagine like dance, right? We go to like dance or ballets or whatever, or modern dance shows, and it's an international language. But how come now that we added language and other even like more supporting artistic work, it makes it less communicatable, which is, you're adding more budget, you're doing more artwork, you're making even more grandiose and filming it, spending so much money on it, and it's detached even more. So that's the discrepancy that I'm really working so hard. I even trying to write projects right now and just trying to push that forward, and especially as a performer, and actor, and singer, just really try to Be more authentic.
Well, you mentioned projects, so I'm sure my viewers are going to be very excited to hear about, I guess, your latest project, which is the movie Lead the Way, in which you play the main character. So tell us about that. That's got to be really exciting. I mean, that's your baby now.
Oh yeah, that's so. Oh, it was such a pleasure to work with the team. It was a lot of fun. Our director is Richard L. Anderson. He's a two-time Oscar winner, and an Emmy winner. So he was known for his doing the sounds. So I was so thankful to work with him, because even though like he's not an Oscar winner for directing, but who cares? Like working with any like professional people, they just have that mindset and attitude, and it was so endearing to work with him and just to see like how he thinks and how meticulous he wants things to be and why, and his artistic vision. So talking to him on such, I learned a lot. And for those of you who don't know, like he did like what is it? Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Star Trek, Night Before Christmas, like Amor, Lion King, like a bunch. Yeah, like a bunch. Like if you go on his IMDb page, but more importantly, I learned a lot. And our producer Julia, she was awesome, and our writer Eugene. It's just it was a script about autistic person who eventually got semi-blind, written for the president of the United States.
And that's your role.
Yeah, Patrick Lee.
Yeah, so people should know Lead the Way is LEE''D. Lead the Way, based on the character's name Lee. Sure.
Yeah, satire. I love satire, and
so I think you run for president, right? Your character runs for president.
Yeah. Yes.
And haven't you guys? I think recently, didn't you win some kind of film festival award recently?
Yeah, we won the best independent feature film at Chinese American Film Festival recently.
That's huge. Congratulations. That's great to hear.
Thank you.
So a lot of times when we say this on the show, often that the people, the viewers, they know the glory, but not the story. So you must have encountered obstacles along the way in pursuing your passion. There's got to be a lot of no's. If you did 80 commercials, maybe there's 200 that you didn't get. I don't know, but I'm sure that there were some obstacles. So this is your passion, your love, entertainment. What were some of those struggles like?
Oh my gosh, it's just, I feel like the struggle of entertainment is that I wish I learned this earlier on. And I had a really great mentors and really taught me this, but you could always have better education and more training. And one of the things that I learned is that we have to treat this like a business, right? So like, and the earlier you get a chance to work at different positions, not just a little bit, but a lot, like as a writer, as a producer, as a then how they think, not be like, so it's not, so it actually gets us out of that narrow-mindedness as an artist that a lot of us get trapped into. Because as an artist, you're only looking at your world, your vision, and be the best you can in that world. So that is so priceless, but at the same time, it's like, that's also a hindrance because you don't know how to help the other people to help you. So I personally feel like I learned that later on in life was that it's a business. There's marketing, there's the branding, there's the craft for sure. There's the audition process, blah blah blah. So actually, that's why I came up with like some celebrities in Asia, and also some great dear friends together for Simon Technique Studio and we have Academy Award winners in the studio as well, and world champions, and we only find the best of the best, and we just try to give back as well and share with the next generation that this is it's also a business. It's also it's a whole package. It's not just like blindly going to a school and just taking lessons, okay, and then 10 years down the line, okay, I'm done. What do I do next? Because a lot of young generation people, I realize that they tell me, they're like, we don't know what to do next. Some people graduate from top schools. I don't want to name names here, but top like Ivy schools, or in the world, or even, and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in their lifetime for education, which is actually pretty common for like elites, but they're still kind of lost. They're like, okay, then what? So we try to provide a place where like you can start studying with Academy Award winners or world top people at a very young age. And we provide very specific things for them to help them grow in programs and projects for them, and hopefully we can help them with getting into better schools, but even more importantly, growing who they are and finding who they are at earlier stage.
That's great. And, it's great that you mentioned such a process and it's a business, because people don't realize, and if it's a business, it's work. And it does take a lot of work to hone your craft, to learn the right things to do, how to audition, to memorize lines. So you mentioned earlier that you had a great time. You appreciated so much what you learned from some of the tops of the industry. The director of Lead the Way. What are examples of some things you learned? I mean, you've been in business for a young guy. You've done a load of commercials, a lot of work, international. What were some of these things that you learned from some of these really top level people?
Oh my God, I learned so much. I want to do a shout out to my mentor, Elizabeth Sun. She was the most giving person ever. She kind of taught me the most important part of my life, I believe, is to give. And you're in education, sometimes you don't get paid a lot for education at all. Sometimes it's almost free, if you calculate, sometimes you get almost minimum wage, but it's just because to see them grow, it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. It's almost like you almost treat them like your own kids, so she gave a lot in her life and always taught me where to go, and just very expressive. And that's what this program is about. It's not just after taking class, we have a mentorship program where they can ask questions, we guide them through different things as well, and the paths as well. So that's one of the things I learned so much, to give back, to don't lose that while you're on a path of what you want to do as well. And then working with Joseph Fiennes, he was amazing. I remember I was working in Asia for a lot of time. Their craft in China was Stanislavski mainly, and it's a lot of pre-prep work, and which there's nothing wrong with Stanislavski. It's just that because the environment that they're in, it's a lot faster. It's fast paced. It's more like fast food. So a lot of people, and not getting too much into the cultural aspects and the preparation work over there, but it becomes very I don't have time to do my work, not us work, a teamwork. So sometimes, and so I remember working when he was like, Simon, I got this, relax. And I was like, okay. And I remember when he said that, I was like, yes, because I started training and acting in music in America first. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me. And so, because I did a lot of prep work and pre-story, whatever, all the backstory stuff, and I just sat in and just let him feed everything to me, like Meisner work, feeding the acting's reacting, right? And it was so much fun working with him, and he really reminded me and clicked again. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was an honor working with him. He was just so good. All you have to do is just react off of whatever he's giving you. Is so good. It was really lovely to have his talk in his room afterwards. And he was very, very nice to say it's thank you for doing your work here, and for the project. And it was very sweet of him.
It's also great that you're open to learning. Some people, don't have that growth mindset, and you certainly do. And, you mentioned education, but I know that you are a little involved in education yourself. I want to dissect a little bit about and learn more about Simon Technique Studio.
So Simon Technique Studio. Okay. So in the beginning, I didn't want to name anything under my name. I was like, why? It sounds so ugh, but I was like, why don't we name educational growth, or some energy, anyway, something that's positive, right? And then not my name, but because I remember I was acting a lot back in Asia, and I was in Beijing at the time. There's just so many projects at the time, and I was talking to A-lister there, Zhang Jiayi, and he was really, really cool, that team, and he's an amazing actor there. I really respect him and also the team there. But they were like, Simon, you're one of the few bilingual actors and bicultural actors here that works a lot and also really understand it. So I was like, okay. So, and then they're like, why don't you do some education? Because they realized that I can localize Meisner or like Woodhagen, like different techniques into the localization, and they've been having a lot of Asian actors has been struggling with that. Is because just like you mentioned, you have some experience with books, right? Like any books translated into a different language, you lose like 30%, sometimes even depending on who you find, 70% sometimes, and they're like doing like, it's almost imagine you're like, you're fishing, you're like, oh, this is the best technique, yeah, but how come there's no fish? Oh, I'm the wrong pond. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's what was happening. So I spent a lot of time about more than 10 years, like with these people. I was working with my other colleagues were the 4 top teachers from the 4 conservatories in China, 中西北电上戏传媒大学, and then I was the international coach there. So I would like fuse this thing together. I was like, okay, so how do we make this better? How do we communicate this better? How do we localize it? For example, like the Chinese culture, a lot of Chinese actors like, huh, ha, yeah, rah, it's big, right? And even Japanese culture is sometimes is very big as anime, like like almost like Naruto, or whatever, like but the real culture within the cities, at least, are like 谢谢，可以
Very quiet.
Bye bye. It's very small, right? And it's very like, but how come when it goes on the camera, it's like, it's like it's animated, so exaggerated. So because the Asian culture, you have a lot less physical expression compared to like the America. I think I read it somewhere, like psychology or like communication. 70% is physical language.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's not really the case there. So if you implement you can't implement everything. You have to be able to understand the culture so much that you can localize it, or else it doesn't make any sense anymore. So that's what I was doing, and that's how we got started. So I'm very fortunate to have like a lot of A-listers and just celebrities and like top actors there to help me with this program, to build the curriculum and to fix like what we need to share with these people, and also some mentors from America as well, like top people.
So are you teaching acting? Are you teaching singing? Who are you teaching, and what are you?
Yeah, so we just started this thing March this year. So I mean, we've been doing Educate for a long time, but it's like the online platform. So I do the acting and singing part, and we have like we have artists, we have also like producers and stuff like that. But we have artists. He's the Academy Award winner, a great dear friend of mine, James Paris. He's awesome, and he did like I don't know, can I say titles of movies here?
Sure.
Oh yeah, it's already out. So like he did like I Robot, Benjamin Button. He did The Face, and the Spider-Man, Lion King, Mulan, blah 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 blah. The list goes on, and he's great. He's just phenomenal. Like even sitting in class, I was like, oh man, James, I'm learning a lot. Like I am every time. So I just want to make sure that we're giving the best we can to the next generation. So if I'm still learning a lot, I'm like, okay, hopefully that's going to translate so they can learn a lot as well.
So you're paying forward the tradition your parents started about paying it forward and giving, which I think is great. Which begs the question, what is next for Simon Twu?
Man, I want to really start getting onto more projects in the States, and also start developing some really cool cross-cultural projects. We're looking into it right now. Meanwhile, I can't say much about it, but I'm working on a song as well. Like we continue to work on songs. We did 2 songs during pandemic because it was so hard to go to studio stuff. So it's a more independent project. A song was called Lead the Way, and we got a lot of people to sing together for that, like influencers, celebrities, and actors and singers to come together and around the world. So we did something nonprofit like that, and and another song called Shape Your Future for US Census. And then, but this time it's going to be like a pop song. So I'm really looking forward to the different creative projects that's happening coming out.
And where should people go to find out more about you? Are there websites or places you can go? Your IMDb page, I'm sure, is one. But where can they go to find out more about you?
So there's 2 websites right now. There's one's called Simon Twu, and that's a TWU. Simon Twu. Just think about like when you think about like Asian guys as not Asian guys, like typical Asian stereotypes. The reaction is just like, oh, when the camera's
TWU.
Simon Twu with a U. Simon Twu actor at SimonTwoActor.com, and the school page is SimonTechniqueStudio.com. Oh, by the way, the reason why it's called Simon Technique Studio is because these guys in Asia spend like $100K on marketing on Baidu in Asia. So it's the first thing you can find, like Simon Technique or Simon Technique Studio is the first thing that pops up on news. So it's like, it's like, why not use something that's already out there? It's already a brand there.
Definitely. Well, Simon Twu, I can't thank you enough for joining us today, sharing your passion and all your experiences you've had in the entertainment business. I really appreciate you being here. To the viewers, this is Mark Hoberman thanking you for watching Lighting the Educational Flame. Catch us Monday nights at 9 p.m. EST on E360 TV, on Roku and Apple TV. Remember, we're 24/7 on the Lighting the Educational Flame YouTube channel. Have a great day, Simon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Lighting the Educational Flame. To contact Mark Hoberman, email him at info@gradesuccess.com or visit him on social media through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thank you for watching Lighting the Educational Flame.